This video is brought to you by the Beautiful Leather Goods by Andar. All products are 100% full grain leather. Orders over 35 bucks get free shipping automatically. You get free exchanges and a 90-day return policy. Maybe you want to pick up the Apollo. Or if you're like me and you want to go super minimal and slim, you'll probably check out the Monarch. Andar wallets have this cool unique pull tab. They go like this, getting your cards out. That allows quick access to your cards. Head over to andar.com and use promo code EDCC to get 15% off your entire order. Yo, what is good, YouTubes? It's your boy Ray, and this is the Everyday City Carry. Tonight, I have a special guest. One of the most requested guests I've ever had. Okay, this is Not Your Average EDC. Welcome to the show. Cheers to you.
Cheers. I don't have anything to cheers with other than a knife, but that works, right? So
Yeah,
cheers.
I carried a weird one today.
Oh my God.
Just for content creation purposes, this is a ZT.
Okay.
Not practical, like at all.
Right.
Looks good on Instagram, looks good in content. That's why I carried it.
Right. That's sick though.
Yeah, so I want to talk about how you got into YouTube, first of all. Let's start with like how you got into collecting knives. I know that you use a lot of your stuff a lot.
Yeah.
But how did you get into collecting like folding knives?
So that started when I was like about give or take 5 or 6 years old. My dad made knives at Chicago Cutlery. I don't know if you've ever heard of that brand, but they make like kitchen knives.
Yeah.
So he worked there, he made knives, he carried knives. And basically he just, from the moment I was able to use one correctly, kind of just like pushed me to carry one and use one and be useful in this world. And I just like instantly got hooked. Like I was obsessed. And I carried knives like all over the place when I was young. I mean, it was like a literal obsession from the get-go. And it started with collecting for sure. And I was collecting like Kershaw's and CRKT and Buck, all of those like, you know, decent basic brands. But eventually once I got into the Instagram community, that's when everything changed. And I sold off every single like shit knife. And then I started getting into like Benchmade, which led to Chris Reeve, which led to the craziness now.
Yeah. It is a craziness for sure. With me, it was really odd actually, because I was at a point in my life where I came from entertainment pretty much. You know, I was a music producer. I was DJing for like 10 years. It was my profession, right?
Okay.
And while I was making really good money when I would play out of state, you know, like $3 grand an hour. Sometimes I don't get a gig for like months though. That's not good. You know what I mean? And clubs in my own state, I live in New York City, like won't want to pay you. And then sometimes they will, but they pay you like months later. So it was really hectic financially.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I got out of that and I was like working in an office. I was fucking so depressed. Like, even though I was making way more money than I make now, I was so depressed. I was looking for some type of creative outlet pretty much. You know, I discover, you know, some people, motivational people like Gary Vee saying like, you got to make content all the time. You know, you got to do it, whatever you're into, do that. Discover channels like Nick Shabazz. Some of the tactical stuff actually is what I got into first, you know. Channels like We All Juggle Knives, Prepared Mind 101, Living Survival, like the survival people and attack people is what I got into. And then I was like, fuck, maybe I could do, you know, I was like, I got a silly personality. Maybe I could do this YouTube thing, right?
Yep.
And I started doing it. And, you know, I really liked it. I picked up my first ZT. This is like the Zero Tolerance ZT 0456. This is the first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is by Sinkovich. This is anodized by JD Cutlery. This is the knife that basically, when I got this one, I was like, I'm going to collect knives forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just
obsession.
Yeah, it was like a step above the CRKTs, the Kershaws. You know, I was buying tack forces off of Amazon. I didn't know any better. You know what I mean? Nobody does. I'm like, oh my God, look at this giant knife and it flips open. Like, but it's like so dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I
for
get
me.
right.
But yeah, that's what started it for me. And what made you decide to get on YouTube actually?
I was literally peer pressured. Like straight up, had no choice. I only started the channel in April, so it hasn't even been a full year.
Yeah.
But it was just like so many people from Instagram all day long. When are you starting a channel? When are you going to do tutorials? When are you going to do collection videos? It was just so ridiculous. And like my excuse up until April was that I didn't have a phone to record on because my phone is literally shattered. Like my
Yeah.
normal phone is just trashed. The front facing camera doesn't work. So I kept saying to everyone, like, I would, but I don't have a camera. And a guy on Instagram, I won't mention his name just because I don't know if he wants me to, but he literally sent me a brand new Google Pixel in the mail so
Which
that I would.
pixel was it?
Huh?
Which pixel was it?
I'm not sure. I'm using it right now. I have no idea, but it's a Google Pixel and I use it for all of the content, all of the pictures, everything. I use it all day, every day, ever since I got it. But it literally was new and he sent it to me for free just
Yeah.
because he wanted me to start a channel.
That's incredible, man. That, you know, that's one thing I notice about the EDC community coming from
Yeah.
like nightlife, dude, like the DJ shit. Forget it, bro. Like the community there is like they are trying to be friends with you so they can get in for free. Whereas at
Yes.
night people,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was going to say, like, that's just like a community where you want to get to know people so that you can use them for things.
Right.
Whereas this community is the opposite. It's like everyone wants to help each other.
Exactly. And people are like, no, no, no. You know, because I did take a huge pay cut from where I used to work, which is the stressful office thing. And I was working there when I first started my channel, right? So I had more access to funds. I was getting knives all the time, and you know, it was very different. But once I transitioned into working at a CBD shop that my family started a CBD company, you know, you're not gonna get paid the big bucks when you're working for family, really. You know what I mean? But I love them, so I'm doing it. You know, and it's fun, it's relaxed. No one is like micromanaging me, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But you know, people, you know, I would announce it I would talk about it in podcasts and stuff like that, and people just started sending me shit. They were like, "Bro, you want to review this? You know, I'll loan you this thing. Oh, you know what? Here's a donation. Like, keep it." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like people
Isn't that crazy?
dude, like Seems Logical sent me a Spyderco Capara. He said, "Hey, I have a spare one of this. I've never used it. It's new in box. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's really what's kept me in it, is how kind and how kind and genuine the people are. You know, of course, in every community, there's some peeps that, you know, kind of like across the street. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I would say like 95% is just kind-hearted people. You know.
Yeah.
What's your YouTube journey been like? First of all, like, what's your process with reviewing something? Let's say like you just got a knife in today. What do you do to get ready to review it, and how much time do you need?
So my reviewing process is no shorter than a month. So
Oh
like,
shit.
yeah, so I refuse to review anything until I've tested it for a month because I think my opinion of a review is different than most people. So like, in my opinion, a review would be using something to its full potential or the potential that you can reach with it, and then giving your educated experiences on whatever you used. So like getting a knife in the mail and opening it up and, you know, using it for a day or just talking about it before you even use it, to me is not a review. That's an impression. That's your first impressions of the product, what you think it could do. Whereas I like to actually see what it can do within a whole month, and then I will do the review at the end.
That's a very thorough process, and I mean, it's probably a really good one. This is where I was laughing when I was watching your interview on the Neves Knives Lives. Neves Knives is like one of my favorite people, actually. Jared and Kara. My wife and I have done podcasts with them so many times. We like just completely mesh together, like our personalities. And I love those guys so much. But it was funny because you were like, oh, I hate this fidget factor stuff. And, it's to me, right, as a New York City dweller, it's and that's not by choice, by the way. If I had a choice, like I would be getting into the bushcrafting and all that shit. Like I'm from the Philippines, so I am from the country, but I grew up here most of my life. But I do like country shit. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm into country shit. Like I watch hunting shows and like I'm into like, making sure I'm fit and working out and shit. And like, if I need to go into the woods, I can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My use for a knife, right, is literally just from like just fidgeting with it. I cut boxes here and there. You know what I mean? I work in a retail shop, so there isn't a lot of work, hard use work. So when I review something, I'm just looking at it from an aesthetics, action, and ergonomic standpoint. You know what I mean? How it's going to fit in my pocket as well. Because in New York City, if you look at me, if I take a knife out, I might get killed by the police and I'll be in the news maybe. But yeah, so yeah, like my and I mentioned that as well. I'm like, look, if you're, trying to get really deep into the steels and like what kind of grind it is and all this stuff, go watch Nick Shabazz or something, because like that's not what you're gonna get here. I'm here to like kind of be lighthearted and funny about it and like let you know like how useful it was for me carrying it as like a city person. But I actually admire people who are able to use it so much. Like when I was so into that interview because Jared is, really hands-on, freehand sharpening. You guys are going back and forth. Yeah, man, the grits, bro. And I want to be like that so bad.
Right. What are they talking about?
I mean, I kind of know because I have some, guided like systems like the KME or the new Worksharp. Like they sent me one. I don't know why, but they did. And then and I had the what's that grinder one from Worksharp where you could freehand it too? You know what I'm talking about? It's motorized.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's really good for big blades if you're trying to go quick. I forgot what it's called though.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've dabbled in that myself, but in terms of like the way you guys talk about it, it's definitely not what I do. But it's certainly like really interesting to see another person's perspective who's in the hobby. And I can tell you this right now, like you've only been doing it for such a short time, but did you know you were always going to be really good at speaking on camera? Did you ever do any speaking work in school maybe, or because you're natural at it?
I never did any of that. And this is gonna like blow a lot of people's minds, but I'm not kidding. I was publicly mute for like most of my life.
What do you mean?
So I was so anxious up until my 20s, basically, that I couldn't actually speak in public. I couldn't speak at school. I couldn't speak at family parties. It was really bad when I was a child. I was able to speak in front of like my immediate family. But the moment I got out into public in front of people I didn't know or anything, I couldn't actually speak. Like I wanted to, but I couldn't form the words. I couldn't get them out. I was so anxious. So literally up until my teenage years, I was like a fairly quiet kid. And I don't know where the switch came in, but something happened and then I ended up just being way more confident, I guess, and kind of beat the anxiety through trial and error. And now I get anxious if I'm not on camera. Like I love being on camera. I love speaking. I love conversing with people, but I never took any type of classes or theater or anything in school. Like literally, this is all fresh from like April. Like this is just winging it.
Dude, I gotta tell you right now, like you probably have a future in it if that's the case, because I'm thinking this also. I thought about this before we hopped on. People that are so just blinded, right, with their hobby and their niche get really far on YouTube. I mean, just look at Jared. I was the first commenter on their video. They were like less than 200 subs, and they've like clearly surpassed me because they go so narrow with what they like, which is totally fine. That's how you should do it. Like YouTube hates variety channels, which is essentially what mine is. You know what I mean? But I can clearly see that even some of the big people, you know, like I call them the knife YouTube elites, somehow they invited me into their group chat, and I'm like chatting with Metal Complex and Advanced Knife Bro and fucking Nick Shabazz, Eugene Kwan, Knife Nuts every day, right? And I'm like, you guys like me? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm in there trying to hold my own. Yeah, like I try to make them laugh and stuff, and you know they do like me in there. But even these guys, if they were to watch your video, I think they would be impressed at the knowledge. You're not just that you know about knives, but you know about sharpening. Clearly, you're hard using them, and you're using them in your work and stuff. And it's you definitely have this expertise that I did not expect from a small channel. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Is it just because you use them all the time, or you research? I mean, what is, you know, how do you get all this?
That's the thing. I don't research a ton. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't watch the channels like Metal Complex or Nick Shabazz. I've seen a few of their videos.
Yeah.
I watch them. I do watch some of Jared's videos, but I'm very choosy about which ones I watch because I like anything that doesn't interest me, I'm not going to watch, which sounds so rude, but like just honestly speaking, if it's not going to like entertain me, I won't watch it. So like the videos or the videos about knives that I don't care about, I don't watch. So this is literally like what I know is a mix between researching like online, not videos, just like actual charts and looking at like Laren's charts that he makes and Laren's documents that he puts out. I look at those. But aside from that, all of the knowledge is just from using my knives and working with the steel, sharpening the steel. But I don't research, I don't pay attention to what's trendy, I don't pay attention to any of that because I just feel like for me it would maybe warp my natural thinking as opposed to actually hands-on experiencing it and learning on my own.
That's a really interesting approach to it. And I always tell my content creator friends in the knife community, like, guys, you have to know this. Like, I don't watch any of your videos. No, because it's weird because I was actually, I downloaded some, because I had like YouTube Premium. So I downloaded some of your videos to watch on the train while I'm going home.
Yeah.
And I watched a few of them. And I don't know, it was very good, by the way. Very good, very informational. You could tell that you actually like used it. So like I could trust your word on this actual, whichever model it was. I think you talked about bug outs in one of them, the evolution, quote unquote, you know.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I watched that one. I watched the Po' Boy one, which was really cool too. But then I was like, you know what, let me turn on the Neves Knives live one. And like stuff like that to me, like long form conversation with two people who know what they're talking about is what interests me the most. So I consume so much podcast content. I probably watch 30 hours a week. It's like insane. Like I just watch so many different pods, you know, whether it's like Rogan or like some comedy stuff. Literally any of that. Some of my friends do live shows. I'll watch it. But that like held my attention. And that thing was like 2 hours long, right?
Wow. I don't even have hours to watch something like that.
What was that experience like for you, by the way? That was your first live, quote unquote, kind of podcast style video with someone else. Like, what was that like?
It was awesome. So Jared is an incredible host, and he's also insanely intelligent. Like he just absorbs everything like a sponge. So it made it super easy. Right before that live, I had like a mental breakdown about something, and I literally was like, Erica, get it together. Like, this is your first live. You can't call out. Get it together and stop crying. So like quickly wipe my tears, got it together. So like it was the only reason I pulled that off was because of him. Like the only reason that whole thing worked was because of Jared. Like he is an incredible host. He asks the right questions. He listens. He's knowledgeable. It ended up being a great experience, even though I was terrified that it was going to like just fail. But it turned out pretty decent. Like he's just an awesome person.
Yeah, he's really, really good. He's one of my favorite guests to have on here. When both of them are on, I'm like super excited, because
I've never seen that.
yeah, if you check out some of my stuff,
I
Jared and
watched
Kara.
once.
No, I totally understand like the no watching like content thing. Is there any type of stuff that you do watch though, like on your free time, like aside from knife stuff?
No, not
No,
really. No,
zero. No TV, no movies, no nothing.
no. So we don't even have like cable at our house. We don't even have a living room with a TV like a normal family. I have a TV in my room that I can like hook my phone up and watch Netflix on, but we
Yeah.
don't watch television. We don't watch movies. Number one, we don't have time. And number two, it's too much media for me. Like I don't want to be that involved. Like if I could spend a half hour recording an educational video for other people as opposed to watching one, I'd rather do that.
That this is why you're gonna make it for sure. Because if you have this mentality at this early in the game without any forethought on what's this gonna be in 10 years, you're gonna just be massive. Like all the big channels I know are just making shit all the time to just
Yeah.
make stuff, and that's really how you got to do it. And that's awesome, dude. That's really amazing. Would you ever consider like doing these types of shows yourself?
Um,
Like if you could talk to Emerson or some shit like for an hour.
yeah, I would talk to Emerson for sure. I mean, I talk to Megan on occasion. Like
Yeah.
she's cool. We talk about goats.
Mhm.
If you don't know who Megan is, that's Ernest's daughter.
Yeah.
She does all the social media stuff. Yeah, I would do that for sure. Definitely seeing where it it goes. Like I have another one of these set up for Saturday.
Who are you
Like
doing it with?
um a guy named Zach, I think.
Zach stuff?
No, oh my god, I wish. He's
I would
awesome.
have you on in a heartbeat. You have to all right, let me just put this into perspective, okay? You have been requested so many times that I've done at least 3 live shows. I do a live show with my wife Kelly every Monday, and people will be like, "You gotta have Not Your Average EDC." I'm like, I fucking asked her, man. She won't do it, guys. Go like comment on her shit. Tell her to do my stuff. Tell her to do
Yeah.
my show. Because they really, really, really like your channel. It's one of the new channels that I've been hearing like so much about, and I don't keep up as much. And then when I checked it out, I was like, oh, I can see why. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that if you wanted to do, here's the good thing about doing these long form like shows is, for example, I branched off Everyday City Carry into 3 channels. So I have a new, this is where this is going to air. It's called Everyday City Carry Podcast, which is going to be, it's already created. And then I have a vlog channel because I was putting everything on one channel. I would
Yep.
have like, vlogs with Kelly. We're going around the city, fucking eating food. And it's like confusing the YouTube algorithm. And like all my friends, like Complex and Shabazz and all these, like bigger channels are like, we have no fucking idea why you're just not being suggested. And then I made the conscious decision to split it up, right? Now, to get back to my point, though, the reason why having a long form thing is good and why I'm happy that I started podcasting, I want to say a year and a half ago, and then everyone started to do a long form thing. It was just me and Big Red EDC. And
Yep.
then all of a sudden, everyone has one now. And you know what you could do? So I have to promote these new channels. So I'm going to do everyone's show
Mm,
and get subscribers that way. And if
yeah.
they have to promote something, let's say you create a fixed blade, like collab with Emerson or something, you're trying to promote it.
Yep.
You go on Neves, you go on, Knife Nuts podcast, you go on Big Red, you go on Zach stuff. Zach stuff will have you on in a heartbeat, if you wanted to do it.
He is really cool. Like we
Yeah.
follow each other on Instagram and stuff. He's awesome. It's just like I guess I don't have any specific plan that like fits any particular mold because I don't care. So like Jared the other day was like, "Oh, you have to get yourself monetized by January so that you can start making money." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll look into it." I got on that thing. I looked into it. I was like maybe 30 seconds into it. I was like, I literally don't give a shit about this. I'm not doing it. So like, I don't care if YouTube takes my money. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm not doing this for money. It never has been. Like, I don't care if the channel gets kidnapped by YouTube and I'm not making a cent. I just don't care. It's not for that at all.
Mhm. And why do you do it exactly?
For myself.
I mean, like, is it just a creative outlet? Is it it's
Yeah.
just fun, you know, like it's a new thing that you haven't done before, so you figured, you know, you ended up liking it a lot.
I'm just a teacher at heart, man. That's what I went to school for. I just like
Oh, you did go to school for teaching then?
yeah, I did. I
Oh,
was a
okay.
teacher for many years. That's yeah.
Oh.
So this is like just kind of natural. Wanting to teach people things is something that I love. First of all, I do it for me because at the end of the day, if we're not doing anything for ourselves first, it's not going to work out in the long run. Like we have to take care of us first. Then we can take care of others. So I do it for me because I like making the videos. And then second, it's for all the people that have joined the movement that love real education. It's for them second.
That's amazing. You know, the thing is though, like let's say you had the choice, right? And in one hand, you could actually have this channel like become this super fruitful thing. You
Yeah.
could like because I'm telling you right now, I've talked to a lot of people that do this, not just in the knife community, and like you have the like actual mentality to do it, to not give a fuck, like just doing it. And I love the dog moving in the background. I thought it was a teddy bear, but it's an actual dog.
No, that's a real dog. That's
But
Nugget.
you know, the reason why Jared is making a good point and to monetize is so that in case it does blow up, right? Which is possible today. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like a Dutch bushcraft could like hit you up and be like, yo, I love your stuff, you know what I mean? And like want to collab with you. And then they do a video with you, and then it gets millions of views, and you don't rake in any of that. YouTube keeps all of it.
That's the
Yeah,
thing, though, bro. I don't want it. I don't want
yeah.
any.
Wow. You
I
have to
want.
do it, man. Yeah, you have to do it too. I'm like,
I literally. I don't want
you
anything. I
have
don't
to. And then you
care.
can just like vlog your farm life. You don't have to change anything.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you could have the farm still live the life you're living now, but you have some cushion, which is what I'm saying. You know, there are a lot of people that got into, especially in the knife community, that got into it and did not mean to do it for a living and
Right.
ended up doing so because it became, I mean, I don't know if I should name any names right now, but there are definitely people that we've talked about before here
Yeah.
that, you know, just completely went full time because they were able to because of their YouTube. I just think that you should do it, and I'll end on in that subject. I'll end on that note because we should do some segments actually.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I do have a couple of you're gonna trash all of these. I do have a couple of Blade HQ new arrivals here already queued up, and I have 5 of them.
Okay. Okay.
You're gonna hate every single one.
All right.
I
Let's see
kind
what
of
I
do
brought.
too. All right, so here's the first one here. This is the James brand, the Redstone slide lock knife. James brand kind of got a lot of flack because there was this knife that they released recently, which is $600. I forgot which one it was. I forgot what it's called. That's how much I care about it. This is
Right.
like their new thing where you could like customize the scales. And I saw this and I was like, yo, this is like so ugly to me.
It's a piece of shit.
So you're looking at
A toddler would use.
yeah.
No.
So that's
Pass.
completely dull on that. Man, these segments are gonna go fast. I should have gotten like 10 of these. Let's just go into it like a little bit. So it is $89. You're getting Sandvik 12C27. Damn, not even 12C28. And the handle material, what is that? Polypropylene. I don't know what they were doing here.
They weren't thinking.
I mean, what were they? I just don't understand what they were trying to go for. I mean, it's partially serrated too. How do you feel about like partially serrated knives?
Shit.
Dude, this is amazing.
I'm brutal. I'm sorry.
No,
I
that's
hate
good. That's good. A lot of people.
bro. It's either full serrations or full regular edge, not a half.
Oh my God, I didn't even know the pocket clip was wired too. It just doesn't go with this. It's like a, what the dude, this is terrible right now.
It's
All right.
embarrassing.
So we're going dull on the James brand, the Redstone slide lock knife. They called this a slide lock. Isn't this just an axis lock?
It
Right?
looks.
Am I wrong on this? Yeah. I mean, we're going dull on it anyway. That's what we're doing right here. It's yeah, it doesn't even say slide. Usually they say axis style like lock mechanism. It just says ambidextrous slide lock. All right, we're going dull on that. All right, we're going dull. Now we're gonna go dive in a little bit deeper to some other stuff. This is a little bit more expensive. I didn't choose these, by the way. They were like literally on the first page.
Okay.
So here we go. This is the McNeese Knives Mac 2-3.5, $495. You got CPM 20 CV, 3.5-inch blade length, full tie, and 4.5 ounces in weight. USA made, designed by Jonathan McNeese. What do you think about this guy?
I've been seeing that one floating around a lot. I think it has potential. Like, I don't hate it. I think it has potential, but from what I've seen of it, the blade looks very thick, but it has the tallness of a knife that should be more slicey. So I feel like it's kind of like some weird hybrid that maybe would work for some people, but it's too weird for me. The handle looks uncomfortable. It looks chunky and sharp. As much as the quality is probably great, I would still say dull.
Nice. And you got the lingo down too. We're going dull on this one. I'm not a big spend more than $250 on a knife kind of dude.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was richer, I wouldn't. I mean, but it was funny you were having that conversation with Jared about just buying knives that you just look at and stuff. I don't have any of those. The most expensive knife I have is $995. I bought it because it had the same name as my dad, and my dad passed away at the time, which is weird because I'm Filipino. The knife is Italian, but they had the same name for some reason. And I bought it, used the shit out of it. It's like totally fucked up. It's by that company, Sandrin. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I don't think.
Okay, that's good. So we're gonna do the next thing, and we'll go with the Sandrin one right away because coincidentally there is a Sandrin thing here.
Oh, cool.
And it's this one. So this is a weird looking one for me. It's not their best looking knife.
I've seen those.
Yeah, so this is the Torino recoil lock, $299. It does use a tungsten carbide blade. So this pretty much, I mean, if you have ever watched Cedric and Ada Gear and Outdoors, he did a cut test with one of their knives, the TCK, and he was cutting rope.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I don't know why all my stuff disappeared. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Can you still see it?
I can, yes.
Okay. I've got to I don't know why it separated my browser, separated all my tabs. But anyway, let's go back to this thing. Okay. I can't click on it now. I don't know why. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do this. Is it moving?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, cool. Because I can't, for some reason, my tabs like split up into two browsers, and I don't know what's going on right now. So he was cutting, Pete from Cedric and Ada was cutting twisted sisal rope. I don't know if that's how you pronounce sisal rope. And he did 3,000 cuts with this tungsten carbide blade before it started getting kind of dull, but still like didn't really need to be sharpened. So technically or theoretically, these knives never need to be sharpened for EDC purposes, I guess. I don't know if you do any hard use stuff with it. I don't know anything about like HRCs with tungsten carbide. I think it's like 60 something, maybe.
I mean, it might be good for like food prep type stuff, but not. I mean, that does not interest me at all. I don't care about what it can do. I don't know that it doesn't even look real. I don't know. I don't like that one. Dull.
Yeah, I'm not into it myself. Even the knife that I bought from them, the Clemente, I mean, I love my dad. That's why I keep it. I'm never going to get rid of it. But I'm like, damn, I could have bought a lot of fucking cool knives. And I don't know.
Right. Like 3 really cool ones.
Like I could have bought like a nice like EDC fixed blade, like maybe like a Guardian or something, and then like get some other folders. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm just not super into it. So I'm gonna go dull on this one.
sweet.
All right, cool. So you're going dull too, right?
Correct.
All right, we're not even gonna go into that anymore. So I'm gonna see if I could still load up these tabs while let's see if I can do it. Oh, I can. Wow, that's so weird. All right, so this is the Ferrum Forge Archbishop, which is, I'm sure you've heard of them before. This is $280. 3.5-inch blade, CPM 20 CV, full tie, 4.7 ounces, kind of heavy, honestly.
Yeah.
Bearings, the whole nine, and country of origin China. Ferrum Forge, everybody knows them. What do you think about this one?
Design wise, it's the best out of all of them so far. Did
Mhm.
you made in China?
Yeah.
So I don't like that. That immediately makes it a dull. Um,
Okay.
but the blade looks like it could be pretty useful if like you cut boxes a lot. Um, I don't. Out of all of them, it's great, but I would still put it as dull for me.
Yeah. I've tried the mini Archbishop, and I did really like it. They sent me three of them, and
Mhm.
I messed up one of them because I was like doing stupid fidgety things that I shouldn't be doing, and I dropped it.
Yep.
And they forgave me though, which was absolutely awesome. But pretty cool knife though for EDC, like general day-to-day EDC stuff. I don't think if you're doing things around the farm like what you're doing, it would be that useful because
No.
you want something like the stuff that you carry. You know what I mean? Like, what's the most hard use thing that you do every day with your knife, by the way?
Oh boy. I mean, I feel like pulling staples is like decently rough on a knife. Like
Yeah.
when you're like shoving like the whole blade into a box or a pallet or a crate and just like popping that motherfucker out. Like I feel
Yeah.
like that could be pretty hard use. Um, most of my tasks lately have been more slicey, which I mentioned a couple videos ago. So like it's a little less hard use, but our stuff still gets trashed for sure.
Yeah. I mean, so you said that you mentioned like I forgot which video it was. I think it was the one about the Emerson with the little po' boy, and you were carrying like app crates of apples or something, and it was
Yes.
like rubbing up against the.
Yeah, so we get like deliveries every day to the farm stand, and because our produce is grown at a farm 15 minutes away, so it's all brought over in like old school wooden crates on a old school pickup truck, like an old Chevy, and we were carrying like probably 30 or 40 crates into the cooler, and I like sit the crate on my belt buckle because it helps like reduce the weight that I'm carrying,
Yeah.
but because of that, my when I start walking, it just like shreds the clip on my any pocket knife that I have in my pocket. It's just like shredding it to bits because the crate is just like rubbing up against my whole like waist area.
Do you notice that your pocket just gets like destroyed by pocket clips?
Yeah. I mean, no, I wouldn't say like destroyed, but it's definitely pretty beat up. Like my pants end up having like holes in them, and they're decently shredded.
Yeah, I've had to get rid of some of my favorites because maybe I just test out a lot of knives and I've had some really bad clips this past year, but I just stopped using the clips, dude. Like I just put it in like, well, first of all, New York City, right? I'm not gonna, it's just really odd if I'm gonna get on the train and have like a pocket clip showing. They're like, hey, tackle him now. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so I've just been carrying in pocket most of the time, and it's been fine. I have like a little pocket sheath with Swiss Army knife, flashlight. Maybe not a pry bar. We're gonna talk about that. I'm not a pry bar type of dude either.
Right.
Just some other like kind of like side EDC items.
Yeah.
But the pry bar thing, let's talk about that for a second. So, like, I actually asked this with Tri-State EDC. I
Okay.
did a sharp or dull with him, and one of them was like a Lynch pry bar. And then I asked him, I was like, look, these pry bars, man, like, do we really need them? Or is this just Instagram like flat lay fodder for like pictures? And he was like, I think so too,
Yeah.
Are they actually useful to you?
Okay, so all of the jobs that I've had in the past few years have been like straight blue collar. Like
Yeah.
I can't emphasize that enough. New Hampshire has a lot of jobs that are not office jobs. They're very like nitty gritty. So, um,
I like that better. I got to be honest.
oh, it's a
But the
blast.
office shit is like, wow, it's so
Yeah,
annoying.
I could never do office work, but there's a lot of like landscaping jobs, there's a lot of construction, there's a lot of forestry, farming, like I'm doing right now. And so over the summer when I was in construction, I legit used my pry bar all day long. And New Hampshire doesn't have like it, or at least the part that I'm in, it's not a poor area, but it's an area where people just don't have a lot of money. So like a lot of the jobs end up being side jobs, and you kind of it's like a I'll pay you, but you have to fend for yourself to make your money. So I was literally told to like go renovate one of my old homes. I wasn't given tools. I wasn't given what I needed. And it was like, I'll drop off paint for you every day, but
Oh,
you're
shit.
ripping this house apart and building it back up from the inside out on your own. So I wasn't given a pry bar. And like, I'm not going to go spend my money on like all these expensive professional tools for a field that I know I'm only going to be in for 3 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where like my own tools came in. I have a BGM titanium pry bar that's literally like wrecked, but I used it every single day for the paint cans, for breaking the old brackets off of the windows that had the stripped screws. I just for pulling like boards off of the wall. I mean, a
Is it
pry
one of those minis though that just like people just show on Instagram, or is it like a legit one? That's what I mean. I'm talking shit about the minis where it's like
right.
Lynch pry bar. It's fucking $200
Those
titanium. I'm like,
Those are shit and they're useless, and nobody's ever going to change my mind because you're all pretending. Those are not pry bars. They're pocket jewelry, bro.
yeah,
If it's not 4 inches or longer, it's not going to be useful because you can't get leverage. Like I don't care what you say.
that's not sexual, by the way. We're talking about pry bars, all right?
Like doesn't matter, or does it?
No, because yeah, I totally agree with you. And it's weird because coming from somebody that likes actually creating content, I don't do pictures on Instagram anymore because I don't know if you know this, but Instagram, the CEO was like, we're not going to push pictures anymore. We're only going to push video. That's why I only create these silly videos on Instagram now.
Yeah, the reels.
Yeah, it's like all I do is make reels. They're so easy. It takes, whatever, a couple of minutes. I fucking pretend to find my knife in a shoe and like make a silly face. And then I get like thousands of views or something. And it's great, but
Yeah.
yeah, I used to just take, and to get back on the pry bar and to segue into the Hank thing too. I love EDC Hanks because at that time I loved taking pictures, like the flat lay pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I loved EDC Hanks. And now that I don't do those pictures anymore, and I used to have a series called EDC Fits where everyone would send their EDC for the week, and I would like go over what they're using, and I would show mine. Since I don't do that series anymore, I don't really carry my Hanks anymore.
Right.
The microfiber ones are like really good though. Like I'll still carry that and put it on my glasses, and but nothing's better than a fucking Civivi like wiping cloth that's like cheap and you just use it all the time. It's better than the Hank, honestly.
Right.
Yeah. Let's get back to the segments. Let me remove this right here. I got a couple of more for you. So this it's completely out of left field. All right, so here we go. This is a Marfion custom Interceptor fixed blade. It's $6,072.
That's useless. Oh my God. Are you for real right now?
Bro, $6,000. Okay, let's check out the specs. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, though. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, what are they showing me here? What is this?
It's like a survival kit.
Oh, it comes with all that? Okay.
For your use.
I mean, what? You're gonna survive with fucking this thing? Okay. So, all right, your blade length is 7.75 inches. It is W2. I thought that was a tax form. Do you know anything about that?
That is a tax form. I don't know what they're talking about. Wait a minute. what? Hold up for a second. Are they saying that those shit little survival pieces go in the handle of that? Like
Yeah.
when? Oh
Yes.
my god, I
Yeah, that
can't.
is so tacky for something that is $6,000. Right? Isn't that like something you get on Amazon? Like,
Yes.
right? So, okay, titanium bolsters, handle material says cord.
Oh my god.
I mean, dude, this is $6,000. It's USA made. Hey, you like that?
I do like that. Yep, I do like that.
$6,000 though?
Oh my god.
I guess it comes in a lot of stuff. Look, it says Swiss made, but it's
Wow.
isn't it made in the USA?
Oh,
What is
god.
happening right now?
It's a joke. That's what it is. It's a literal
Oh,
joke.
man. Oh, you want to know it's a literal joke? All right, I'm gonna hold on. Let me grab my keyboard here, and I'm gonna show you this thing. I thought this was a meme. I saw this on the Knife YouTube Elites group chat. I don't know. I love calling them that, but I'm gonna show it to you right now, and you're gonna be like, "Is that real?"
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I found it. It's right here. All right, let me share this with you. This is crazy. I thought this was a meme. That's how meme-like it is.
I'm scared.
Yeah, well, we're going dull on the fucking Marfione thing. Like, right? Okay. All right, so let me show you this right now. Right there. Boom. I thought this wasn't real. This is a Wii Knife Elementum, and it's $539.
Wait. No.
Yo,
Wait.
it's on
Are they
whitemileknives.com
being
right now. Look.
That's not pretend.
No, I mean, it's listed on their website as out of stock. It wasn't on. I mean, it's nowhere near April 1st, right? So,
Oh my.
and there's
No,
like,
it's probably out of stock because it's not real. There's no way that can be real.
White Mountain Knives is a real website though. Like I bought it from there like so many times. I bought stuff from there so many times.
Frig, what is this?
It says titanium handle scales, damascene steel, plain edge. Let's like zoom in on this. Can I zoom?
That? Can they?
It's a Wii knife though, so it's not. Oh shit! How do I get out of this?
It literally is a Civivi Elementum, though.
Yes, it is 100%. Shit, how do I? It won't get out of it. Do I press back? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just a VV Elementum, but it's by Wii, and it's got like just extras.
Right, extra.
Yeah, so damascene steel blade material. You've got titanium handle scales. That's it, and it's by Wii Knife instead. I thought it was a meme, dude. This looks like a meme. Like some knife person would make this because the Elementum is so loved, and
right,
people would buy this shit.
I
wouldn't.
I'm appalled. Obviously, no.
Yeah. This wasn't even part of this segment, but we're like giving it the top.
I just granted the dough caption because I'm really disgusted.
It's just crazy. I cannot even believe that this is a real thing. Like I couldn't believe it. I had to ask because someone posted it, right? And I literally said this. I said, "Hey, do you remember that Wii Knife Elementum meme you guys posted?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, that's a real thing." And I was like, "No way, dude!" And they sent me the link, and this is it. This is really White Mountain Knives. Look, I could just browse and look at actual real shit in it.
Well, I'm never buying from them. So
no, but it's not their fault. They're just a distributor.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not an exclusive. I don't think it's an exclusive. I'd be surprised if it was because Blade HQ would probably get that, right? They're a smaller like online retailer. They have good deals though. They're pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was just so crazy. All right, so I have another segment called Versus here. All right, so this is where I show you a picture or a group of pictures, and it's kind of like a would you rather kind of segment, like which one are you gonna do? Okay, so I kept it knife related for the first one.
Okay.
Let me pull it up again here. I seem to have lost all my tabs, but it's okay. I got it here. Boom, boom. Okay. So I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves Knives pod, and I was listening to that Neves I know that you love spider ghosts.
Stop.
All right, so you have to choose. You're gonna use one of these forever: import spider codes or Kershaw speed saves for the rest of your life. Like, which one are you gonna choose?
Oh no.
Yes, I know.
This
I
is
mean-
like asking me, I'm not even gonna say it. Oh God. And I have to give an answer?
yeah, you have to choose one or the other.
Shit.
Yeah,
Um, what? Oh God. I like literally
like
can't. Like
import
my
spider
brain
codes
like
only.
work like this.
Yeah, it's fun
Okay.
though. It's fun.
You said that the Kershaws were the ones with the
Speed
assist.
safe only.
I'll have to go with Spider Code because the Kershaw, those speed safe things drive me nutty.
Yeah, they're so bad. You know what's funny is in the beginning, I really, really liked them. I was like, yo, this is so cool.
They
It comes out. Yeah. Then you kind of like just grow out of them, right? I mean, you
they,
know?
they just started to like annoy me because they would open in my pockets and I would forget
Mm.
that little lock thing, and then
Mhm.
they like pop open in my pocket. So I'll go with Spider Code.
Wow. I got you to choose Spyderco. I would never have thought that. Okay, so this is kind of a curveball here. You have to save your family, all right? And you have to choose. Are you either gonna swim in the ocean with Jaws or be in a nightmare with Freddy Krueger?
Freddy Krueger. I'd kick his ass.
In the nightmare, dude, but he controls like the fucking shit. Like, you know?
Can't control me. I'm in charge.
Oh my.
Freddy all day. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think I watched Jaws too early. I said this so many times on pods before, but I'm still scared. I mean, I still go in the water, of course. I'm going to Hawaii this weekend, actually, and
Whoa.
definitely gonna go in the water. But even if I like go in a pool and I hear that like weird underwater like sound, like I think sharks or like gators are gonna get me. 'Cause I watched Jaws when I was like fucking 6 or something, or like 7.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
little.
So, because in the Philippines, growing up in the Philippines in the 80s, when a movie is out, you're all watching it because there's
Mm,
nothing else. You know what I mean? So
right.
I watch Jaws and stuff. All right. Let's go to the that we breeze through these segments. I thought we were gonna take a little longer. So you have to do one of these shows. All right. You can yeah. Have you heard of these shows before?
Yeah, I think I watched most of the Alone series. I've never seen Naked and Afraid. I've just seen like clips.
Okay, so you have to be on one of these shows. It's to save your family. Like I always say that.
It's to save your
It's to
family.
save your fam. It's to save the farm, dude. All right. So you have to be on one of these shows. Would you be on Naked and Afraid or the show Alone?
Okay, so just quick clarification. Naked and Afraid, what is that? You're in a jungle naked?
So basically, you're kind of like, the primitive, like they put you in a primitive setting, kind of. They give you nothing. You get to choose one tool for yourself. And if it is the partnered one, because there are solo ones, your partner also gets to bring a tool of their choice. They give you a pot to boil water and they give you a map of the area. Everything else you got to do on your own. You got to find food on your own. You have to build shelter on your own, fire, all that stuff. They do not give you a fire starter. So if you don't have a fire starter, uh, I've seen people that think they know shit, but they're in an environment that they're not used to, and they cannot start a fire. Like it's insane, and they're like fire experts in their respective area, right? So sometimes people bring the fire starter as their tool. So if you're in luck, that's what happens. And you already know Alone. You win a shitload of money at the end, but it's like really grueling and tough. You get to bring 10 items, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it's 10 items,
I
but they
love
have
that show.
specific specifications.
Yeah, yeah. So Naked and Afraid, I think you win like 5 grand at the end of it.
Oh my God.
There's definitely more. I wouldn't say notoriety. There's a lot more. I would say like you could be a return. It's gonna be a reoccurring thing if you do well on it, and you'll probably get a bunch of like probably shit that you don't care about because you don't care if the YouTube channel does well.
Right.
You get like brand deals and stuff like that. You make a career out of it, basically. If you do good on the show, people like Melissa Backwoods has basically built a career on it. A bunch of people have. But yeah, that's what it is. So you got to choose one of these shows or your family dies.
I think I'd actually go with Alone because Joe did Alone and he like fucked up instantly, but he made a huge career out of it. I don't give a shit about that, but
Yeah.
Alone just seems more my jam. As much as I like being naked, I can't. Yeah, I don't vibe with the naked and afraid. Alone for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they don't show you naked. They blur it all out. And I feel like Naked and Afraid is I feel like Naked and Afraid is more scripted, if that makes sense. Alone is like they give you GoPros and you film it yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Naked and Afraid, I can tell they'll be like, okay, in this scene, it's the night vision scene. You got to act scared like rhinos are outside your Bulma right now. You know what I mean? Like, my wife and I are looking at this like, that's fucking totally fake, dude. Or they're fighting for some strange reason, like completely polar opposites of the person's personality from the beginning of the show. And you can just tell it's like scripted. So I think Naked and Afraid, I don't want to say it's an easier ride, but maybe because it's scripted, it might be. And Alone is just like tough, dude.
Right. I want it to be like tough and real. So definitely Alone.
Are you on any other forms of social media?
Other than YouTube and Instagram now.
Do you scroll on social media at all? Like, do you look for things? Like, like you have maybe some downtime and you're kind of just looking around.
Not too often, no.
Wow. I usually end this podcast where I just show a barrage of TikToks to people that are like funny to me. And I'm not sure.
I don't even have a TikTok. I don't even watch TikTok.
I'm not even sure how you're going to react to some of the really obscure stuff that I watch. A lot of the guests really love it. Like they start cracking up. But I discovered from another podcast this really weird video about cologne and perfume.
Okay.
Show it to you right now, okay? This guy is like a perfume reviewer and he's like trying to make a joke about something and he kind of like doesn't go well. And can you see that? Can you see this?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna watch this right now.
And the last one I don't talk so much about is Perry Ellis 360 Red. I love it, man. It's the dildo of the fragrance industry. And yeah, it's not so funny actually. Still don't know how to talk about the topic of masturbating. It's difficult, man. I do it, but I don't come. And, it's
what?
To be that honest, but it's simply to boost my power type of vibe. All right. Ultimately, of course, I want to have a girlfriend and a wife. Turning that girlfriend into a wife and have great kids. So that's Perry Ellis 360 Red.
No. What?
Yeah, that's real. I mean, that was a good review, right? I think I'll buy Perry Ellis now.
You should.
Yeah, it's the dildo of the perfume.
I am speechless. I don't have words for that.
You don't watch like any like funny stuff like that, or?
No.
Oh shit, hold on. Another video is playing, I think, and it's like really bugging me out. Hold on. What is that? Hold on. I gotta go to the other. It's a Perry Ellis 360 Red unboxing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. What?
It played immediately after the other video. Look at this.
Because it's listening to us talk about it.
Yes. Well, I mean, it does suggest you stuff that you've watched recently. So I think, I think that guy has convinced me to buy the cologne. I'll be doing my Perry Ellis 360 review, guys. Keep an eye out for that. And that's going to be the best thing.
God. Where am I?
All right. I'm going to show you one more video. Let me try to make it a good one. And I'll get you out of here, okay? Because I know you have to wake up super early. What time is it over there right now?
Right now it's 10:33.
Oh, so we're on the same coast. Duh. I forgot.
Yeah. You're like a few hours from me.
Yeah. New Hampshire, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Man, I don't know how far out I should get, man. Some of this stuff is really, really crazy.
Go for it. We're already too far gone, man.
All right, here. I'm going to show you like a technology one. I'll keep it nice and light. None of the too really obscure stuff here. So this is some new stuff that's been happening. I think this is maybe a week and a half old. Because of the music. So these are these humanoid robots that I forgot which company makes this, but I just want to know, get your take on it.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, you can buy these for $133,000.
But why?
I don't know. Like I am a tech guy, but I don't know if I would want to own a robot that can possibly kill me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That thing looks like it has pretty decent abilities to murder.
Yeah. Are you so with all this new move in technology, are you like kind of freaked out by it? I don't know if you heard of like the metaverse and all this stuff. That's what Facebook is creating, and people are already creating like forms of content for it. And there are these contacts that basically, like, let's say you played basketball and you're really shit at it, and you put these contacts on, your eyes can calculate for you like where you should shoot the ball. It's like crazy. And this is being backed by the biggest like contact manufacturer in the world. And just crazy stuff, like so much innovation, like you just got your new Pixel phone, and like how much of an improvement was that from your previous one?
Yeah, I mean, it was an improvement, but I don't want to go any further than that. Like robots, I don't even have a Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, Facebook is the worst. Like I literally don't use it. Like I post in a group in the Philippines that like likes my knife stuff, and I just post there, but I don't like fucking talk to anybody on there. It's like really weird.
Literally, if I can get by with like the bare minimum, that's what I'm happy with. Like any type of extra innovations, I don't care.
But what about like innovations? What if with those innovations, there are innovations in cutlery, for example?
I don't care. I don't want. Like, I already have what I want and what I need. Like I'm not really interested. Like all the new steels, if there's new knives and new, I just don't. I don't know. I think I just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, that's the thing with me. It's like I love technology, but if I had the choice to live like a simpler life, it's weird though, because I'd probably just need internet. If I had internet, I could live in the woods. Like, you know what I mean?
That's really how I am. Like I drive a stick shift truck. I don't have a lot of technology at my house. It's pretty old school. Like my knives are nothing fancy. I like it simple and traditional.
We're gonna end it on this. What's the most you've ever spent on a knife?
I think the 475 on the Chris Reeve.
And how did you feel about that? Which Chris Reeve was it?
The small Sabenza 31 in S45BN.
Did you like it?
I like what they were aiming for with it, and the design in general I like, but that particular knife was really tough for me.
How about the fit and finish, the craftsmanship? How did you feel about that on it?
It was okay. It was okay. Not great. I have like a whole series up talking about the quality control issues that I had with mine, because there were definitely issues. Yeah. There's like a whole series that I did showing what went wrong with it. So for 475, it was probably worth like 250 in my opinion. Yeah, and it's just ever since things have changed there, they're not what they used to be. My 21 is flawless. My 31 has a lot of issues. So
you like the 21? Because I got to try the 21 myself, and it was one of the nicest knives I've ever held. Not for me, but it was one of the nicest knives I've ever held. I could clearly see where the price was going, and your dog is awake now. I
think she's looking at you.
Yeah. What kind of person is that? Do they have Asians in New Hampshire? Am I?
A few. Just a few.
He thinks I'm gonna eat him. No, I'm just kidding.
She doesn't think that, I promise.
Well, thank you so much for doing the show. It's actually really fun. I was very nervous doing this because whenever I'm talking to someone that is so knowledgeable, and I feel like it's so much more of an expert on knives and EDC in general, I get a little bit like weird, you know, but it was very smooth and very fun for me. So thank you for doing it.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And I'm not even close to an expert, man. Like, I know nothing in comparison to some of these people out here. So never be intimidated. Neither of us should be. It's like such a cool community, you know? It's so great.
Yeah. I think you just have a lot of practical experience, which a lot of people do not have. So definitely, you know, play it up or something and get monetized, man. I really want to see, you know, the channel grow and stuff, and it will. It's going to grow to the point, like, I know it's going to grow like huge. And then
I'm not monetized. I officially decided there's there's no way I'm doing it.
Because here's the thing, right? If you don't monetize, you cannot control the type of ads they play on your videos. And if you cannot control that, there are going to be ads that are playing on your shit that you don't want, like things you don't believe in and stuff. So that's why it's another good idea to monetize your video, is you can control that aspect of it.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. But the worst case is,
what if there's an ad about Chinese communism on it? And you're like, fuck, man, I want to get rid of that. I should have monetized when Ray told me.
Well, maybe I'll just delete the channel and it won't exist. You won't have to worry about it. I don't. I'm not falling into YouTube's bullshit. Like, they're not going to force me to do anything. I'd rather literally not, like, make videos. If people stopped watching them because of the ads, I would just stop making videos.
Yeah.
Like, end of story. I don't think I'm getting monetized.
We'll see, but I truly I truly hope that you do, because I want you to stay and people really like your stuff. Everyone, please follow Not Your Average EDC. I'm going to put the links in the description. I'd love to have you on as a guest again, and I would love to see a Not Your Average EDC live show or podcast happen sometime soon. This is your boy Ray and Not Your Average EDC saying peace. Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.